Back on Trojans Live, and a reminder to Trojan Athletic Fund members, use your Ultimate Sports Card for free admission for two to USC men's basketball versus UC Santa Barbara Sunday, November 27 at the Galen Center. I think that's a 7 p.m. tip. Jordan Moore, John Jackson, and happy to be joined now on the phone by the 1992 All-American wide receiver Curtis Conway. And C-Way, I'll let you speak for all the alums, maybe some not-so-happy ones to start this season, but is that a little bit more like it, what you saw on Saturday?
Oh, absolutely. You know, just the progress that they've made since Sam has taken over has been pretty amazing to see what they've been able to do with him in the lineup. So, of course, playing Washington on the road, ranked number 4, the two best teams in the Pac-12 met. USC comes on top. You got to love that.
C-Way, JJ, you're around this all the time and, been analyzing the situation. Did you see that type of performance coming from USC to dominate Washington the way they did?
I wouldn't say dominating, because I think that when you watch when you look at what USC was doing all year, especially up front, no one was really talking about Porter Gustin and the guys up front and the job that they were doing, and what Clancy Pendergast what he was able to do with those guys. John, remember at the beginning of the season, no one was talking about this D-line, and that was kind of the weak link of the team. Now all of a sudden, you got a team that can rush the passer with 4 guys. Was pretty amazing to me. But you saw the progress, as the year went on, and it's a little different for me because I don't really watch the game per se. I'll go back and watch the all-22s and kind of study the game, and you can see where everything was coming together. And even going back to Alabama, the defense played pretty good in that first half and kind of lost it in the second half. So you saw the potential there, but you knew it was going to take time. Same thing with the offense. It just took a matter of time, and now this team is clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, we're going to talk to Adoree Jackson next, Curtis. And as one of the great returners in USC history, what makes Adoree a special return man?
It's instincts. To be a great returner, you got to have natural instincts. It's amazing to me how you'll see some people go and train, and they'll do cone drills because they want to be able to make people miss. Well, that's not the key to making people miss. That's a gift from upstairs. You can't teach what Adoree has. And I have it, but I think Adoree has it even more so than I have. Just watching that kid run with the football, he's even more instinctive than I am. And trust me, if he was on the offense, if he was a wide receiver, we'll be talking about Adoree Jackson as one of the best wide receivers in the country because of the things he can do with the ball. So he just have a natural instinct with the ball, and I don't think you can't explain it. You just react, and you have your peripheral vision, and you just make people miss based on reaction. It's not planned.
C-Way, this team has obviously made a turnaround from the beginning of the season to now. Give us your breakdown of how the coaches have done as a staff in terms of getting things turned around, and what are you seeing from them that's making this, especially on the offensive side, such a tough offense to stop?
Well, I just think, having Sam Darnold, this is nothing against Max Brown, but it's obvious having Sam Darnold in there opens up your playbook. You can do more with him. And when you watch the end zone copy of USC, you can see Sam Darnold getting the ball through tighter windows in the middle of the field, whereas Max wasn't really doing that. Another thing that I love is that the way he's feeding Darius Rogers. Darius could be covered, but he understands what he has out there, and he'll throw the ball up, understanding sometimes it's not the scheme. Sometimes you just have to let your playmakers make plays. He'll see a matchup and throw it over there and allow him to make plays. But I'm going to go to this Washington game in particular, JJ, when you talk about the coaches. The job that T. Martin did against Washington's defense, that game plan to me was amazing, because all year I've been saying Washington has holes in that defense because they play so much man-to-man outside, and their safety, Buda Baker, will play man-to-man on the slot. And, JJ, you know as well as anybody, you put anybody on John Jackson, I mean anybody on JJ in the slot, you're going to get open if he's playing man-to-man. And that was something that they exploited in this game, being able to throw in the middle with Amado Bebe and Barnett. I mean, look at the targets that those guys had in the middle of the field. That was a weakness that they exploited And then you go on the other side of the ball with Clancy Pendergast. And for some reason, I don't understand why more defenses don't do this, but he will put a lot of guys on the line of scrimmage, and all of a sudden, three guys may drop out, and that confuses the line, it confuses the quarterback, and that's why they were able to put so much pressure on the quarterback before, because you don't know who's coming and where they're coming from with all these guys on the line. So I just thought it was an excellent game plan by both coordinators, man. Just watching that game plan unfold was pretty amazing.
All right, Seaway, it's UCLA week. As an LA guy, what does the UCLA week mean to you in this rivalry?
It's simple for me. I try not to get too caught up in it because, and there's nothing against UCLA. We always want to beat UCLA, but, I just have this thing, and it's just me. I think UCLA, they put more emphasis on beating USC, whereas USC put more emphasis on winning championships. And so I think that this week is very important because it's bragging rights. Of course, you want to beat UCLA, but I think this is a game where USC is saying, look, one game at a time, we got to go and handle our business, but this thing is bigger than just UCLA.
Yep.
So with that being said, JJ, you was on some pretty dominant teams where y'all had to play UCLA when they were balling, and you understand that it does mean something, but it's just, to me, I just see a little difference in the way USC go about their business in this week versus UCLA.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. See, I got to take you back in time a little bit. All these offenses are built to run around RPOs these days, these run-pass options. You were a great quarterback in high school, and how well would you have been as a quarterback in these RPO offenses? Would we have not seen Curtis Conway at receiver if these offenses would have existed back when you were playing?
Man, I mean, I say it all the time. I was before my time. I was just before my time. That's what it was. I mean, the running quarterback wasn't there. And I wasn't an option quarterback. I was a quarterback who dropped back, and if I didn't see anything open, I would take off and run. Yep. So when you look at it from that standpoint, I wish I was playing in this day.
Quarterbacks get paid a lot more money.
You wish you were playing too, because you had 42 catches as a junior. You would have had over 100 the way they throw them now too. So no matter what position you were playing, you wish you were playing now.
You know what? But I really wanted to play the quarterback position, man. I mean, I fell in love with it, and but I just knew that my style of playing quarterback wasn't going to get me to the next level. So I did everything I could to try to move the wide receiver, and it worked out. So I'm glad I made that move.
I've seen Seaway. He's in shape. He might consider. He might have a couple plays left.
Wow, yeah, for sure. Curtis Conway before his time, but still a great one. We thank you, Seaway, for joining us. Hey, a reminder, everyone: USCTrojans.com/tickets. Still tickets available for USC Notre Dame, the final home game of the season at the Coliseum. That'll be a week from Saturday. Next up, the man you've been waiting for, Adoree Jackson on Trojans Live.